Good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing about three groups. First will be the Masbateño people. Under this presentation, I will tell you about the origin, location, clothing, beliefs, and practices of the Masbateño people, what makes their culture unique, the issues and concerns they are currently facing, and the stance of every Filipino in the preservation of their unique culture. But before anything else, who are the Masbateño people? The Masbateño people refers to the people that lives in the Masbate province, which is part of the Bicol region of the Philippines. The origin of the Masbateño people is not entirely clear, as the history of the Philippines is complex and multi-layered. However, it is believed that the Masbateño people are part of the wider Visayan ethnic group, which includes various groups of people who share similar cultural, linguistic, and historical characteristics. The Visayans are thought to have migrated to the Philippines from Taiwan and other parts of Southeast Asia around 2,000 years ago. Over time, they developed distinct dialects and cultural practices that vary depending on the specific island or region where they live. In the case of Masbate, it is likely that the island was initially settled by Austronesian-speaking peoples who were already living in the Philippines when the Visayans arrived. These indigenous peoples may have been absorbed into the Visayan culture over time, leading to the development of the unique Masbateño identity and their way of life. Later on, the arrival of Spanish colonizers in the 16th century also had a significant impact on the culture and beliefs of the Masbateño people. The Masbateño people are primarily located in the province of Masbate, which is an island province in the Bicol region of the Philippines. The province is composed of three major islands, Masbate Island, Icao Island, and Burias Island. The majority of Masbateños live in Masbate Island, which is the largest and most populous islands in the province. Next, we have clothing. The Masbateño people of the Philippines have a rich cultural heritage, and their traditional clothing is reflective of their history and way of life. The traditional clothing of Masbateño people is colorful and vibrant, often featuring intricate embroidery and beadwork. The women's traditional clothing is called terno, which is a two-piece ensemble consisting of a blouse and a skirt. The blouse is usually made of lightweight fabric, such as cotton or silk, and is decorated with floral or geometric patterns. It has butterfly sleeves that are wide at the top and narrow at the wrist. The skirt is a long flowing garment that reaches the ankles and is also adorned with embroidery and beadwork. For men, the traditional clothing is called barong Tagalog, which is a lightweight shirt made of pineapple fibers or cotton. It is usually worn untucked over black trousers and it is often embroidered with intricate designs. The barong Tagalog is often paired with a salakot, which is a traditional wide-brimmed hat made of woven bamboo or nipa palm leaves. Overall, the traditional clothing of Masbateño people is a beautiful and vibrant expression of their culture and heritage. Their beliefs and practices are heavily influenced by their history, which includes the arrival of Spanish colonizers and a long tradition of seafaring. First, we have religion. The Masbateño people are predominantly Roman Catholic, which was introduced to the Philippines during Spanish colonization. However, they also incorporate indigenous beliefs and practices, such as animism, into their religious rituals. It is estimated that 91% of Masbateños are Roman Catholic. Other religions include Protestantism, Islam, and Iglesia ni Cristo. Next, we have festivals. One of the most important festivals in Masbate is the Rodeo Masbateño, which is held every April. It is a celebration of the province's cowboy culture and includes events such as bull riding, cattle roping, and other rodeo competitions. Another popular festival is the Tinagba Festival, which is a harvest festival held in February. Next, we have seafaring. The Masbateño people have a long history of seafaring, and many of their traditions and beliefs revolve around the sea. Fishermen and boatmen often have their boats blessed by a priest or a babaylan, which is an indigenous sailor, before setting sail. They also have various superstitions and beliefs about the sea, such as the belief that it is bad luck to whistle or sing while on the boat. Another persisting traditional practice is the pamalay, which is a meeting between two families of a couple who are planning to get married. And they strongly hold the belief on God, the soul, and the afterlife. They have a distinct culture and traditions that are unique to the region. Here are some of the practices of the Masbateño people. First is agriculture. The Masbateño people are predominantly farmers and fishermen. They rely heavily on agriculture as their main source of livelihood. The most common crops grown are rice, corn, and coconut. Next, we have festivals. The Masbateño people are known for their colorful and lively festivals. One of the most popular festivals is the Rodeo Masbateño, which features bull riding and other cowboy-related activities. Next, we have music and dance. The Masbateño people have their own traditional music and dance, which are performed during special occasions, such as weddings and fiestas. Next, we have religious beliefs. The majority of the Masbateño people are Roman Catholic, and their religious beliefs and practices play a significant role in their daily lives. Next, we have hospitality. The Masbateño people are known for their warm hospitality and friendliness towards visitors. They are very welcoming to tourists and are always eager to share their culture and traditions. Next, we have traditional clothing. The Masbateño people have their own traditional clothing, which is typically made from locally sourced materials such as abaca fiber and woven fabrics. Lastly, we have folklore and legends. The Masbateño people have a rich collection of folklore and legends that have been passed down through generations. These stories often contain moral lessons and are used to teach children about their culture and history. Moving on to the uniqueness of their culture is a blend of indigenous, Spanish, and American influences, which makes it unique and distinct from other Philippine cultures. Here are some aspects that make Masbate culture unique. First, we have festivals. Masbateños celebrate various festivals, including the Rodeo Masbateño, which is a showcase of their cowboy and ranching culture, and the Burunyogan Festival, which is a celebration of their indigenous heritage. For language, the Masbateño language is distinct from other Philippine languages, and it has its own unique vocabulary, grammar, and syntax. For cuisine, Masbateños have a unique cuisine that includes dishes like ginataang alimango and sinapot. For arts and crafts, Masbateños are known for their traditional arts and crafts, such as weaving, pottery, and wood carving. Lastly, for their livelihood, fishing and agriculture are the main sources of livelihood for Masbateños. They have developed unique techniques for fishing and farming that have been passed down from generation to generation. Overall, Masbateño culture is a vibrant and unique mix of indigenous, Spanish, and American influences that has evolved over centuries, making it a fascinating and rich culture to explore. The Masbateño people, like many other communities in the Philippines, are facing various issues and concerns. Some of the significant challenges that they are currently dealing with include poverty. Masbate is one of the poorest provinces in the Philippines, and poverty remains a significant issue for many Masbateños. Second is limited access to education and healthcare. The province's remote location and lack of infrastructure have limited access to education and healthcare services for many Masbateños. Next, we have environmental degradation. Mining and other extractive industries have caused significant environmental degradation in Masbate, leading to the loss of biodiversity and degradation of natural resources. Displacement and land rights issues. The expansion of mining and other industries has led to the displacement of many indigenous communities in Masbate, who have also faced land rights issues. Vulnerability to natural disasters. Masbate is prone to natural disasters like typhoons and earthquakes, which can cause significant damage and displacements of communities. Lastly, we have insurgency and conflict. The province has also experienced insurgency and conflict between the government and rebel groups, leading to the displacement of communities and disruption of daily life. Overall, these issues and concerns are complex and interrelated, requiring a comprehensive and coordinated response from the government, civil society, and other stakeholders to address them effectively. Lastly, we have the stances of every Filipino in the preservation of their unique culture. As a diverse and multicultural society, every Filipino has a responsibility to respect and preserve the unique culture of the Masbateño people. Here are some of the common stances that the Filipinos have in preserving Masbateño culture. First, we have the acknowledgement of the importance of cultural diversity. Filipinos recognize the value of cultural diversity and understand that preserving the unique culture of Masbateños contributes to the country's cultural heritage. Appreciation and support for Masbateño culture. Filipinos appreciate and support the various cultural practices, arts, and traditions of Masbateños. This includes attending festivals and events that showcase Masbateño culture and supporting local artisans and craftspeople. Next is the promotion of cultural exchange and dialogue. Filipinos encourage cultural exchange and dialogue between Masbateños and other Philippine communities to promote understanding, respect, and appreciation for diverse cultures. Advocacy for the protection of cultural heritage. Filipinos advocate for the protection of cultural heritage sites and artifacts in Masbate to preserve the rich history and cultural identity of the Masbateño people. Lastly, we have inclusivity and respect for Masbateño perspectives. Filipinos strives to be inclusive and respectful of Masbateño perspectives and values in preserving their culture. This includes consulting with Masbateños and involving them in decision-making processes that affect their cultural heritage. Overall, every Filipino has a crucial role to play in preserving the unique culture of the Masbateño people. It is a collective responsibility to ensure that the rich cultural heritage of Masbateños is protected and passed on to future generations.
I am Cal Cyrus Neri and I'm here to talk about Porohanon. The Porohanon people are a native group from the island of Porohanon in the Philippines. Although relatively small in number, they have a rich cultural heritage and unique traditions that have been passed down through generations. Porohanon Island is located in the municipality of Concepcion in the province of Romblon. It is one of the 20 municipalities in the province and has a land area of approximately 2.5 square kilometers. As of the latest census, the population of Porohanon Island is around 1,500 people. The majority of the population is engaged in fishing and farming, while others are involved in the production of coconut-based products. The Porohanon people have their own language, also called Porohanon, which is a Visayan language spoken in the Visayas region of the Philippines. The language has its own unique grammar, syntax, and vocabulary. Fishing and farming are the main sources of livelihood for the Porohanon people. They also produce coconut-based products such as copra, coconut oil, and coconut vinegar. The Porohanon people, like many other indigenous groups in the Philippines, face a number of challenges, including poverty, lack of access to education, and the threat of cultural assimilation. However, efforts are being made to address these issues and promote the preservation of their unique cultural heritage. The Porohanon people have managed to preserve their cultural heritage and their identity over the years. Despite their relatively small population, they have their own traditional festivals, such as the Araw ng Porohanon, which is held every year in January 2nd. During this festival, they celebrate with traditional dances, music, and food. In conclusion, the Porohanon people are a fascinating group with a rich cultural heritage and unique traditions. Despite the challenges they face, they continue to maintain their identity and celebrate their culture through festivals and other cultural events.
The Romblomanon group. So the origin of Romblomanon comes from the Visayan Dumlon or Lamyon, which means sitting and refers to the people and language of Romblon. The Spanish encomendero Miguel de Luarca visited the place in 1582. He referred to it as Lumlon or Dumblon. So location of Romblon province straddle the Sibuyan Sea that form link between Tagalog speaking in Region 4 and Visayan speaking in Region 5. So there are three main islands, which is Romblon, Sibuyan, and Tablas Island. So in clothing, the Banton Boreal cloth is the oldest surviving specimen of textile in the Philippines. The description given to his abaca piece derives from its discovery in a cave in Banton Island, Romblon. So these are the beliefs and practices of Romblomanon. So in religion, primary religion practiced by the Romblon is Roman Catholicism. Makaako is which known as Mighty One in Romblomanon is venerated through pangopong, a ritual of thanksgiving in which is food offerings are placed on a platform in one corner of the house and offered up to Makaako through incantations. Also, Romblomanon still believes in Anito or Encanto, which is spirits that inhabit the mortal world, and that and also these spirits live in balete trees, which is ficus, which is they call nonok or lunok. The Romblomanon have the kinaagman, which is an amulet that persons wear to deflect evil and misfortune to bring good fortune on oneself. The dimin-dimin or karmin-karmin is pinned to the garments of a baby, child, or a pregnant woman to deflect evil spirits. So, uniqueness of Romlumanon. So, in festivals, they have Biniray Festival, which is a paid tribute to their saint, which is Señor Santo Niño. In livelihood, which is marble. Marble is also very popular in Romblon. So this marble is a construction for flooring tiles and wall paneling. Also, they have coconut wine, fishing, and cattle racing. So in Romblon, they have major three major language, which is Asi, Onan, and Romblomanon or Bisaya or Binisaya. In handicrafts, basketry and weaving, which is the famous on Romblon. So these are the issues and concern of Romblomanon, which is the mining, water pollution, and illegal logging. So in preservation, which is respect and appreciation, support and promotion, and education awareness of the culture of Romblomanon. Filipinos serves their culture of the IP by showing respect and appreciation for their beliefs, costumes, and traditions. Also support and promote their culture of IP by preserving their ancestral domains and encouraging sustainable livelihoods that honor their traditions and supporting their cul- cultural events, which is festivals. So also Filipinos can increase awareness about cultures through media, education, and cultural exchange programs.